All right, everyone, we'll continue with our NCAA Coral Gables Regional press conferences with our top seed and host Miami Hurricanes. We're joined today by head coach Gino DeMari and student athletes Yohani Morales and Carson Palmquist. The Hurricanes, who finished with a 39-18 overall record and a 20-10 mark in ACC play, were awarded the number 6 national seed for the postseason. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach DeMari and then go into questions from our media members in the room and on Zoom. If you do have a question on Zoom, please use the hand raise function and we'll make sure to get to you. Coach?
Well, just excited. It's been a few years since we've hosted, and of course, we tell the players at the beginning of the year in this room right here, actually, when we meet, that one of our goals is to be a top 8 seed. And it's a long season. A lot of things have to happen to fall in place for that. But over the course of the season, our guys played well enough to be a top 8 seed, and we're in a good position. There's a lot of ways to get to Omaha and win it, but one of them certainly helps to be at home. We've gone the other route and been on the road too, and I told our guys we can do that as well, but it's an advantage. There's no doubt being at home, and but the Omaha thing doesn't happen, the super regional thing doesn't happen if you don't take care of business in the regional, and we need to make sure that our guys are focused, which they are, on our first game at hand, which is Canisius tomorrow, and that's the most important game of the year.
Thank you, Coach. If you've got a question, please use the hand raise function on Zoom, but we'll start in the room with Mike DePasquale from WSVN.
Coach, the ACC tournament did not go the way you anticipated. So what do you see from your team right now going into the regional?
Well, they were down. They were definitely down. I kept saying that about it. There's something about it is they rightly so, they're down. We didn't play well there. But I think there's new life being brought to us in the fact that we were able to host. We knew we were going to host a regional. I think our guys were even more excited once we found out we had the opportunity to host, be a top 8. But again, that doesn't happen. It's not realistic if we don't take care of business in the regional. We'd like to have played better in the tournament. I was looking for us to play better in the tournament, especially after coming off the Notre Dame weekend, which we played, I thought, really a very good Notre Dame team. And maybe the most important game of the year. They're all the most important, but the Saturday game, in terms of us being a top 8, that Saturday win against Notre Dame might have propelled us to be a top 8 seed. So, our guys are in a good place right now. The energy is very, very good. I like the body language of our team. All that's great. Got to go out and play the game the right way. That's what we're looking for.
Canisius is the 4 seed. I remember 10 years ago, Stony Brook, they came in here.
Yeah.
When you face a team like that, because this is like their College World Series to some degree.
Yeah.
How dangerous can they be?
Any team could be dangerous. I think you and I were speaking. When you got a guy on the mound, one guy in our sport can change everything. And if he's on his game, or if the ball's not going our way, and there's games before where I can recall where we've had good at bats and hit the ball hard, and you hit them right at guys, and you just miss pitches or whatever it may be. And baseball's a game like that can be crazy, but. I don't look at it as though I'm not, as a coach, thinking this is a Stony Brook or anything else. Every team is different. Every team is different. Whether it's our team or the opposing teams that we play, I'm sure they're going to be fired up. But again, you got to understand, it's been a long time for us too. We've been battling very hard to get where we're at right now, and our guys are as excited as any team in this tournament. I can assure you.
We'll go on Patrick McCall. Pat, go ahead.
Gino, how did you feel about practice? How did you think it went this morning?
I thought it was great. It was short. It was an hour and 15 minutes practice, but most of them are relatively short now because you're at the end of the season. You don't need to be out there for 4 hours in the humidity and wearing your guys down. So they're still lifting. We still got a couple lifts in this week, which was good, before and after practice. The practice was very, very good. Our normal didn't swing the bat, which is unusual, but that's kind of what we've done in our history. Before we're going to play a 3-game, or maybe could play 4 or 5 games in this thing. We want our bats fresh. We've hit all week long in practice, and so a lot of tracking the ball out of the hand, and did some defensive things, some things that we hadn't covered. We tried to cover a little bit of everything all week. We finished up some things we hadn't covered today with fly ball, communication, some picks, and then some ground balls. The infielders always need to take some ground balls, some light ground balls and stuff. And the catchers and outfielders did their individual D. So I felt good. The guys, the energy was good. They're excited. The practice was good. It was actually a good practice. And so, I think we're in a good place.
Yes, great. Okay, first for the players, I'm sure you guys are used to dealing with weather delays. What is your routine if the game gets stopped or delayed? Like, how do you keep yourself ready?
I would say just staying with the whole team and having fun, not letting it get to your head that you've been here for so long or whatnot. Just everyone's having a good time all around. End of the day, you're ready to go. And you just all that.
I mean, my point of view, I think we just gotta all be focused. Don't let that distract us from the main goal, which is winning a game. Just not get out of it. Just because the rain's coming doesn't mean we have to stop what we're doing. And we just gotta keep focused and go right after the game after that.
Sure. And for Coach, what's your best story about the job that the grounds crew did to get your field ready for a game after a big storm?
Oof, golly, best story. I don't know if I have one specific. Our grounds crew is outstanding. We have, he's our head guy, Eric Bousine, and well, I tell you what, he has as much pride in what he does as anybody I've seen in any field of work. He's out here. He's here at the field before anybody. He's the last one here. He spends the night here a lot of times at the park. And, of course, he might be more fired up than anybody. This is his first regional as the head grounds guy. And so he's done an unbelievable job of getting the field ready. I think our playing surface is as good as it's ever been. And so, he's him and his crew do an outstanding job. I don't have one specific thing, but, with the weather being the way it could be, and we've had issues with weather before, it's something he'll be able to handle. He's had practice with it before.
Thank you.
Coach, we have a question in the chat regarding if a decision has been made yet on your starting pitcher for Game 1 of the regional.
Yeah, so we have, but we're not announcing it because we don't know who the opposing team's throwing, so it's not doing me any good to say that right now. I want to hear once they say they got their guy, then we'll be good to announce ours. But, yeah, I mean, you have to be ready by now. We would have thrown the pens already for the guys days in advance to be ready. So, but not announcing it until we know they're ready to announce theirs.
Coach, are there any specific players on Canisius that you've looked at just from general scouting that you're worried about or you guys are honing in on?
Well, the assistant coaches have been watching a lot of the film. And, I mean, we think they're going to throw a right-hander. He's got some good numbers, he's got a lot of strikeouts, and not a lot of walks. I have watched him, us coaches have watched him more, but I've watched him enough to know he's a pitchability guy. He's not a flamethrower by any means, but he can pitch. He can throw all his pitches for strikes. He can throw the fastball in and out, and a competitive guy, which I expect their team to be very competitive. All Northeastern teams usually are. I always simulate to those guys are probably all played hockey at some point in their life, and I don't know many hockey players I ever grew up with because I'm from the Northeast myself that were not tough guys. So. He's a guy certainly, but we don't know if he's throwing. They have a lefty as well that's pretty good too. His ERA is actually even lower. He just doesn't have the strikeouts like the other guy does. But and they got some guys in the lineup that can run. They got two guys that are 20-plus stolen base guys. They got a guy that's hitting over 400. So they swing the bat a little bit, and it's one of those things that our guys are preparing for, and obviously, we need to execute what we're trying to do with our scouting reports.
Mike?
Can we move the mic to Yo-Yo?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo, I remember when the preseason polls came out, ranked in 4th and 6th, and maybe the highest 24 and 125 in the other one. And at the time, you were saying that you felt that this program, you and your teammates were being disrespected at that time. Do you feel that as the season went on and where you're at this point, that respect is back?
I mean, honestly, no matter what, everybody's still going to be hating on the University of Miami just because of the type of team that we are and the program that we are. So we're just not always going to get the respect that we feel that we needed, but I feel like we've proved a lot of people wrong throughout the year, but all that is already in the past. We have to focus on regionals now and tomorrow, which is the most important game of the year. So we're just focused on regionals right now.
I know that knowing you, the outside noise means nothing to you, but maybe amongst yourselves, was the talk that we have to silence some people?
I mean, not really. We just got to keep playing the baseball we've been playing our whole lives as kids. We don't have to worry about anything else in the outside, just worry about ourselves and staying together as a team. So we just want to win ball games and nothing else after that.
How dangerous, and I pose this question to your head coach,
Yeah.
A team like Canisius, who they're out to prove a lot. How
Yeah,
dangerous
of
can
course.
they be?
I mean, I really don't know anything about them, but we have the coaches working on that. But no matter what team we're playing, it's postseason baseball, and any team could beat you. So we just gotta go in there like it's the most important game of the year, which it is right now.
And Yohani, Carson, either one of you guys can answer this, but neither one of you guys have been able to be a part of a team that hosts a regional yet. Now that we're about 24 hours from the first pitch,
Yeah.
have you felt like any of the advantages already that come with hosting a regional, and how excited are you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, us even be able to stay at our house, live 5 minutes away from here, staying at my house, is just a huge plus. And just walking into the ballpark today, seeing all the NCAA stuff everywhere, I got goosebumps because last year we weren't home, and it was just the coolest experience knowing that we're gonna play in the playoffs at home, hopefully 2 rounds, and make it to Omaha. And it's awesome. It's unreal, and I think it's a huge advantage.
You want me to ask the same question?
Sure, go for it,
Yeah.
Yohani.
I mean, I think we just have a big advantage because we're used to this heat and the humidity. So it's gonna be tough on other teams, especially us that we've been here practicing every single day and getting used to this type of weather. Just big role in it. I'm just gonna keep playing the game we're playing.